You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
You don't have to. Do you have timeline review? If you have timeline review, then it won't tag.
If you're friends with me, Audrey, you really should have timeline review.
Yeah, really.
Truly.
I have hidden memes where I was tagged in. I think I got.
If you're friends,
I really haven't had to hide anything since Lynn's.
Since what's his name went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's when it's from. It's from then.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So then I'm like, if I add it, does it automatically go to the top of the feed?
Sometimes
or does it...
I accidentally click hide.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I won't tag you in the post now. That's the concession I'll make, Audrey. So I won't tag you right now as I'm sharing it to the world.
It's fine. You can tag. If you're tagging everybody else, you might as well tag me because then people are going to ask questions.
What? Why is she angry?
Why weren't you tagged in it?
What's
you
wrong?
You told everyone you were going to be on here. So they're just going to look for it anyway.
I didn't tell everyone. I just mentioned it to a few people that asked me what I was doing tonight.
Yes.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number, drumroll, 100 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrill. As always, 100 times in a row, I am joined by co-host Dakota Davis.
Today's episode is featuring mine and Jeremiah's wives, Audrey Davis and Sarah Morrill. We will be talking to you guys today about whether or not the government's going to shut down again. There's a vote going on, like, right now. And there's also an 18-year-old in Ohio that defies his parents and he gets vaccinated on his birthday. Spiceland, Indiana, is getting a brand new hotel. And then we're going to celebrate because this is the big 100th episode. So make sure you stick around to the end.
It's also a very romantic episode.
Yes.
Today, as we record, it is the evening of Thursday, February 14th, otherwise known as
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. This show is about our lives in rural Indiana. As always, we promise our episode is going to be a fun and an easy listen. Once again, we do have producer Chris Guffey over on the side.
Hello.
You were worried you were going to go single tonight.
I know, but look.
You brought a Patreon woman over.
She just touched my knee.
She's grabbing your inner thigh. The incredible Christy Avery has come all the way down from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Allen County. We welcome Christy. Thank you. She's waving. She's not mic'd up. We're at full mic capacity.
She's
around here.
coming for you. She's gonna get you.
The invitation is open to all Patreon folks, and we did have another one stop in earlier. She ran out, and I think she's going to come back. We certainly hope she does. Nancy Dietz was here. She brought by an incredible assortment of, at this point, it's like 1.5 trays of strawberries.
1.5 my
I've
butt.
only eaten one.
There's been 3 taken out of it.
It was.
I mean, come on.
They are chocolate-covered strawberries.
They are delicious.
And I'm excited. I'm very excited. Chris Guffey, what's going on? There's a lot of commotion on your side of the room. Is everything okay?
It's my fault. I told Christy to leave the door slightly ajar because we have other guests that may show up. They don't want to come in and see a closed door and be like, well, nobody's here. I'm going home.
All right. So a few minutes ago, we did record. We got into the vape story, as we'll call it. Indiana's passing a new vape tax. You can hear all about that on the Patreon side. Any of the Patreon members that help us make this show. Are you okay? You're eating over there. You're eating strawberries. You're nowhere on track.
Very aggressively eating strawberries.
You've got no napkins. You're wiping them on your pants or my pants or anywhere in between.
They're so good.
It's all over your mouth.
I've got a co-host who's running on 3 speeds over here. It's straw, bear, and E. And Guffey's going to get napkins.
We got the mom.
It's going to be the circus show tonight. So we do need to thank Chris Bilbrey, Brant Spicer, Christy Avery, John Phillips, and Craig DaCosta of Hawaii for your mega support of the show. Christy's here in person, so we'll make her stand up, wave, give a speech, everything else for helping us out.
I already made her stand up and drop her cookie.
Yeah.
My fault.
You made her drop her cookie?
Yes, I felt bad about it.
Oh, no. That was a gift. She got that from her Valentine.
I know. I'm sorry.
And she was offering to share her cookie with Chris, and now Chris's cookie has hit the dirt.
I was trying to be hospitable.
I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, Christy. Here you are, supporting us from day one. You come to our studio to watch a live episode, and you drop your cookie on the floor.
Because I asked her to do something.
Did we offer her one of Nancy's berries?
Not yet.
All right, we should probably do that.
I believe she already took one.
That's the only way. I did take one. Robert Reed is in the chat. He says, "Bring back Rob Kendall." Little surprise for you. If you listen to the Rob Kendall show on WIBC this weekend, 2:30 on Sunday afternoon, you will hear yours truly on Rob's show. So, and we'll put that in the feed over here too. So if you subscribe to the Boss Hog of Liberty iTunes feed, you'll see that. You'll see it in there. And if you go listen to the Rob Kendall show, you'll have a little Rob in your life with the Boss Hog guys. And we got an open invitation for Dakota to join that show too.
That's right. Except usually I'm at work during the day.
You have to be very careful.
Me too.
To figure it out. Maybe you have to take a sick day. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, what's going on? We got some news to cover, and then we're going to be off topic here at some point. Is there? I guess the way the show is going to be designed today, Sarah has created a custom drink for all of the hosts or all of everybody that's got a mic flag.
Everybody at the table.
Everybody at the table
on the camera.
Everybody on
everybody
camera.
With a mic flag. Yeah, everyone with a mic flag.
Yeah, watch the power of the producer.
And the show goes quiet. It's the Guffey show.
Yeah,
it's gonna be what I walked in on earlier, isn't it?
Sure will. You can find about that on the Patreon page.
All right, so Sarah has between each segment here. Sarah is going to progressively get us more drunk, I think is the way this is going to go down. You have a custom cocktail that's in front of us.
Well, Pinterest cocktail.
Custom to us.
Yes.
What are we drinking, and who is this dedicated to?
So this is called, these are all also kind of Valentine's Daisy-ish.
It smells good.
This one is for Audrey.
Ooh.
Ooh, I
Yes.
gotta go
Audrey first.
Yes, ladies first. And we're going with, it's called the Love Martini, according to the recipe I found on the interwebs. So it is a concoction of several different things. So
Did you shake it as a shot?
I smelled it, and
Can we take
it's already
this
making
we should-
my head
I
spin.
think we should take this as a shot.
this is
is
a
a big
lot in a
shot.
cup. It's like
It doesn't feel like a lot to me.
a third of my
You go
cup.
for
I
it.
don't-
It looks like purple drink. Like I
It's
feel
not
like
purple.
this.
Okay.
It's red.
Don't
It's in a.
say
It's in a blue cup.
purple drink.
It looks. It's in one of the Meet the Morals cups from the wedding, but it looks purple.
Oh my god, you're sick.
Okay, this I could get.
Is there
down with.
anything for us to cleanse
This
our
is
palates
delicious.
with in between?
This is very tasty.
Yes, chocolate
See,
covered strawberries.
I knew Audrey would love it.
What is that?
Is ours different than theirs? It's exactly the same.
Oh my god.
I have
is there
ex-
coconut?
I feel like I have
Yes.
extra aspartame in mine.
There's no aspartame.
You feel
Well,
the
other
holes
than
being poked in your brain.
So what it is it is
Producer Chris, come over here and drink out of the other side of my cup, and then you can turn it and let. Basically, you can let Christy decide which side of the cup she wants to drink out of.
So what it is it's a mixture of there's our knockoff Malibu that we have from home, and then that's your coconut.
It's Malibu's least wanted rum instead of most.
It's called
wanted.
Palms, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
think
do
that's
taste.
what-
Yeah,
yeah.
it tastes like Malibu rum.
Okay,
Yes.
and
Sarah,
then
it's pronounced Psalms.
Palms. There's no S in there, and the P is not silent. But then there's
It's not
also
the steakhouse in Indy.
there's also some peach tree thrown in there, regular vodka, and cranberry juice.
That's yours to keep, Guffey. You don't have to pass it back.
Oh, okay.
I've got another cup over here.
All right, let's get to the first story. Will the government shut down again for the second time after the 35-day shutdown that happened at the very beginning of the year? I'm not sure yet because we don't have a live feed going on with the news, so I don't know what's happening.
We don't have Espen on.
But the House was voting on a funding package, and it was also going to be passed to the Senate. It includes $1.37 billion for the border wall that Trump shut the government down for 35 days over last time.
So we have a $22 trillion budget now. It crossed over that this week.
Yes.
A budget deficit, rather, or a national
debt.
Nancy has walked back in. We'll make sure she has a nice, comfortable chair and she can hang out with us for the show and enjoy. So we got a $22 trillion national debt. $1.3 billion is about the cost of a new NFL stadium. Right. So they shut the government down for over a month for like a rounding error. I think in this same package, they approved like $5 billion for ICE.
Yep.
Not like, what happens in Minnesota every year, but like the immigration naturalization, the
Immigrations and customs enforcement.
Yeah. So the customs cops.
Yes, customs cops. Customs cops.
So they gave them about $4 or $5 billion, but they wound up saying Nancy, you remember this? Nancy Pelosi said $1, not $1. She'll give $1 to the cause, and Trump wound up getting $1.3 billion from it. Right? Sarah's got her hand up.
I have a question.
Okay.
How many votes does it take to pass?
Changing a light bulb or screwing a light bulb
To pass through the Senate?
No, to pass through the House, the thing that they're voting on today.
Was it like 335 members of the House, so 200 and change?
Okay.
Yeah.
How many did
Well,
you get?
it's very close. Very close.
You have it on the screen? What do you know?
Democrats, 205 yays, 206 yays, and Republicans, 185 nays.
The Republicans are voting now?
Yes.
Is it an amendment or is
Really?
this the real vote?
It says on agreeing to the resolution, House Resolution 131. Is that the correct number?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It says government funding and border security at the top.
Oh,
Final
that
vote
would be it.
approximately 8:30 p.m. though.
Yeah, so this is an amendment the Democrats are offering for,
Okay.
probably, is what
Yeah.
that is.
There's
This is not-
49 seconds left for them to vote. It's very, very exciting.
Yeah, so basically what's
Very
happened is they've got some sort of an amendment, and all the Democrats
1200
are
page. They dropped it off at midnight.
the Democrats are mad about something, so they're all voting one way, and the Republicans are voting another way. But ultimately, whatever the final bill is, it'll pass. It's a must pass. This is where you want to hang everything you want on it. This is where you get your
USA Today has a really good story about what's going on with the federal government and whether it'll be shut down again. And they're doing live updates right now as well. If you're a Patreon member, then you can see the link in the show notes that we provide before the show. For the spending package, Mitch McConnell actually said that the Senate Republicans will approve the $1.37 billion. He said it wasn't what they originally wanted, but it is a compromise that they are willing to make. It reminded me of the scene in Shrek whenever Lord Farquaad is standing on the walls and he says, "Some of you will die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make." Mitch McConnell is now the Lord Farquaad of the Senate. Trump said that he wasn't thrilled about the proposal, and he will be scanning through the package very carefully to be looking for landmines. His words, not mine.
So this afternoon, McConnell announced that Trump is going to sign it, but he also said, "By the way, we're going to declare the national emergency anyway, and I'm going to get what I want."
He's like, yeah, I'll sign it, but as soon as I sign it, there's going to be a national emergency, which he can technically do because he's the commander in chief, and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement falls under his total authority because they're a federal law enforcement agency.
But the power of the purse is supposed to be controlled by the Congress. So if you don't have money authorized, then it really shouldn't happen. It's not the way government's supposed to work. And
it's not the way it's supposed to. But because of where we're at now,
we're 100 episodes in. I think I've probably said this 200 times on the show. Congress has thrown away. They've abdicated their duty of the purse, and they've given away the power over war. They've become such a weak shell of themselves, and they've made the president, no matter who it is, way too powerful as an executive. You know, Thomas Massey said in an interview, I think with Glenn Beck, when he was in Washington for the State of the Union, he said, "We take one vote that matters as a congressman each year, and that's who we vote for speaker. Past that, nothing we say matters." Probably 85% of the members of Congress. You know, Greg Pence is our new congressman. He won't be influential in hardly any way this time at all.
No.
It won't matter. Sarah's showing me a tweet from Congressman Justin Amash. What do you got, Sarah?
This is
Breaking news.
What a bad, frankly embarrassing day for constitutional and fiscal conservatism. The Senate confirms Bill Barr as Attorney General. Congressional leaders conspire to advance a $333 billion wasteful spending bill, and POTUS plans to declare an emergency for a non-emergency facepalm emoji.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Audrey, what do you think?
I don't know, man.
Build that wall. Just keep the government open. Move on. Leave us alone. Audrey, your bread and butter topic is coming up next.
Ooh,
You ready?
no.
Hold on, let's talk about Mitch McConnell real quick.
You got more for Mitch?
Lord Farquaad?
Yeah, Lord Farquaad.
Everybody calls him a turtle. There's a whole generation before that thinks he looks like a
let's
turtle.
seriously talk about how baller he is. He's like...
Baller.
The House is like, yeah, we don't want to push this new Green Deal. He's like, the Senate will cover it.
I loved that.
I
really did.
I'm going to force a vote. Let's go.
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi says, we're not even going to hear about, what'd she say, what did she call it?
She didn't even... The Dream Deal.
The Dream Deal.
The Green Dream.
Yes, the Green Dream. She
Yeah.
says, we will not be voting on the
Yeah.
Green Dream.
McConnell's like, all right, we will.
McConnell says, this, I will force a vote in the Senate on the Green New Deal.
There's no bill to vote on. Are they just going to
There
vote
is.
on an idea?
No, there is a bill. It was introduced by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh dear God.
Co-signed by...
Yeah, but there's got to be a senator that brings a bill up.
No,
He
there
can't-
was.
Is he just going
There
to
was.
vote on
Yeah, there was a senator.
A
out of-
California Democrat?
Sounds right. I don't
so.
not
Harris?
100.
Harris or senators for 1,000? Alex
It wasn't Kamala.
Harris or Feinstein? I think are the two that you've got in California.
I can't
I'll look it
remember. Yeah, Guffey's got us. Look that up, young Chris.
Young.
By the way, I think we at this time, Sarah, if you want to start making the next drink, you have permission.
Thank
but
you, Master.
You are allowed.
It's going to make for a tense Valentine's Day.
Senator Markey.
You're free to go at any time, Sarah.
Senator Markey.
Markey, what state is Markey from?
Nobody knows.
That's a him, right?
That's a him.
That's what I thought. Where's he
The
from?
Markey Mark.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was going to compliment Chris on decorations in here. We
did a
have
great job.
hearts, pink and red. The one problem with what he did is there is unsanctioned and unauthorized glitter on the table again.
Look who's complaining about glitter.
I think we all learned our lesson at Christmas time.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yep.
Interesting.
Different coast. Different coast.
Robert Reed is in the chat, and he says Massachusetts as well. So it'd be Warren and Markey are the two Massachusetts senators.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And Pocahontas. You said Warren. I didn't know who that was.
Oh my. Yeah. Okay. All right. So who let the bugs in? Maybe
I don't know.
it's
I've been
fruit
seeing
flies.
them too.
We have fruit flies, Nancy. This is what's happening here already. They've been. I don't know how it happened, but
Smell those sweet,
I think
sweet
that's what it is.
strawberries.
Spring is right around the corner too. We have ant traps out at our house now. Do you know this? Do you have ant traps at your place yet?
Nope.
Are you fighting the war?
We barely have drywall. Seriously, we barely have drywall. It's getting finished right now. Okay, so an 18-year-old in Ohio decides to defy his anti-vaccine parents by going on his 18th birthday and getting himself all of his required vaccines.
We're just going to drive right by that.
Yeah.
He's got the mic off, but it shook the building. Guffey just sneezed. Like I think the health department may need to be called. We may have to evacuate. That's
So
a public health danger.
The Daily Mail is the link that I used for this in the show notes. They had a really good article about this. Also, the teenager did an Ask Me Anything on Reddit, which got moved to the front page of the site. It was full of good information. And surprise, surprise, I don't think it's any real surprise. He said his mother is the anti-vaxxer of the family. His dad just really doesn't care. He just kind of goes along with it because that's what the mom says.
So the anti-vax thing is it picked
Interesting.
up a lot of steam in the last 10 years or so.
And we have Jenny McCarthy to blame for that.
And you have a lot of people that are concerned about parental rights, personal rights, and then you have to balance that with public health and also with science, right? So
Herd immunity.
There are people that think that you said bird immunity?
Herd.
Herd immunity, yes. Yeah, the whole herd has, we've eradicated polio, and now we're going to accidentally bring it back, and we're getting these stories now where people have measles. Bartender Sarah is over in the corner shaking something up. I'm excited to find out what's coming up next over here.
Is this my drink or Jer's?
Yes. Oh, she's working her way around the table. Dakota is next. So I pulled a quote from this story. The mother of 7 said, "It was like her son spitting on me, saying, 'You don't know anything. I don't trust you with anything. You don't know what you're talking about. You did make a bad decision, and I'm going to go fix it." Basically, so she's like,
it's such a weird, very in-depth thing for her to say. This is what it felt like. You know what I mean? Like that has a lot of detail to it. She thought about it for a while.
I don't know how this becomes like a national story of this internal family argument.
It's because an 18-year-old, the first thing they do is go out and buy a pack of cigarettes and lottery tickets because it's the one thing that they can finally do. Right? And this kid's like, I'm going to go get vaccinated.
So he goes to the health department and gets his vaccines. And then he smart enough to issue a press release, and it's national news. He's done Good Morning America. I don't know why Chase didn't book him on our show, or Chris didn't book him on our show, or none of our lackeys did the job to get him on, and I'm really disappointed in that.
He also said that since he was vaccinated, he still lives with his parents. They didn't kick him out.
It's not like he's going to bring back a disease now. He's cured.
His mother was very unpleasant at first, is what he said, but their relationship is almost back to normal now. This was in the Reddit Ask Me Anything that he did.
It's almost back to normal, except for the national news tour he's doing now.
Yeah, he has a 16-year-old brother and a 14-year-old sister, and the 16-year-old says that he's still making up his mind, doesn't know if he wants to get vaccinated or not. And then the 14-year-old says, "I'm with you, Mom, all the way."
Oh, my God.
It's only for now.
The 14-year-old knows that there's like 4 more Christmases on the line. and got to have that Xbox.
16-year-old sees the light at the end of the tunnel.
16-year-old already has their car, and they're like, I'm out.
So the anti-vax movement has been weird. And it seems like there's no middle ground.
No.
There's no one that says, I think that you should be able to do what you want. It's like, it seems that most people you see on the internet are, if they're anti-vax, they're anti-vax all the way. They are, you don't need a vaccine for polio. I have essential oils that can fix it. Right?
It's, I just shake my head at it. I really do. Audrey, you're the scientist in the group. What say you?
A literal scientist. That's what she does.
You guys know my opinions. I've talked about
The
it a
world
lot.
doesn't know.
I've talked about it multiple times.
Only on tinfoil
Ask
time
me a
for the
question
paid
about it. I'll answer the
subscribers.
question.
Audrey, do you and Dakota intend to vaccinate your children?
Well, duh. I'm not trying to let my kids die.
There's a bit by a comedian who says that he got a woman pregnant before he knew her, and whenever the baby was born and about 2 years old, she said, "I'm not vaccinating our kid." And he was like, the problem about having a child with a woman you don't know is you don't realize she's crazy. And he decides that while she's away at her parents' house, he's going to take the kid to the doctor and get all the vaccines at once. And he gets him vaccinated. They come back home. The kid immediately just like passes out, falls asleep, because it does take a toll on your immune system. That's why they don't recommend you to get them all at once.
Everyone at once.
And he's like started freaking out, going, "Oh my God, she was right."
Well, and I think like you guys initially said, there's no middle ground, which I agree. There are a lot of people who are like, yes, do it, or no, don't. I think the only middle ground you'll find are the people who are like, well, I'm going to have my kids space them out. So instead of going to one doctor's appointment and having, 3 or 4 vaccinations, they might come, do 1 or 2 the first week, come back a few weeks later, do another couple, and then come back a month later and do the rest.
Do you think there's any people that vaccinate their livestock and their dogs, and their cats, but they don't vaccinate their kids?
I'm sure there are.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Animals are a different thing than a human. Do doggies have autism?
Ours might.
Have you met Hank?
I talked about it at work
Ours
today.
definitely do.
I talked about
Just
that at
Hank,
work today. I was like,
because
his routine.
he's smart, and like he's smart, but in that strange way, like can be absolutely brilliant in some things,
Yes.
but then just not know how to behave at other situations.
Well, our dogs are definitely brothers because that's the same for Garth.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that
Have we
it's
been on
not
the
only
same
us.
vaccine schedule?
Maybe.
Oh man! All right, so Sarah, you have brought back another beverage.
This is the only one I'm nervous about.
Is this mouthwash?
It's not mouthwash.
What's
I know
what's this called?
This one's mine.
This is Dakota's.
Pink and frothy.
It's called the Clover Leaf.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And I know you like gin, so I looked for a gin cocktail.
Ooh.
And
hate
there's
gin.
a little surprise. So let's just drink it and find out how it tastes, and then I'll tell you the rest.
Oh man,
There's Dakota's tongue thing.
Oh, my God.
Audrey did not like it.
I don't like gin.
I like it.
It's gin.
Audrey, you can pour yours in his cup.
It's raspberry. So
Audrey
you
has
had to
a
make
look
a
on her
syrup.
face.
So it's
am
raspberry,
shook to the
or not
core.
raspberry. This is blackberry. I didn't have raspberry. So
She
we did
was
blackberries.
muddling blackberries last night at home.
And then you did that with lemon juice, and then we used sweetener so we could have it. There's a little splash of grenadine in there, and then there's an egg white.
Grenadine, that's from tasting.
There's an egg white, which was the thing that was like, Dakota might think
yes.
this is
It's a little
interesting. That's how you
backwash
get
for
the
you.
froth.
That's the froth.
Yeah.
This is where Sarah was like, I need to buy egg whites yesterday at Walmart, and instead of buying a whole tall container, you were separating eggs last
Well,
night.
I was hoping they'd have the little ones at Walmart
The
last
egg
night.
beaters?
Like, yeah, for the egg whites. They had them for like this regular scrambled eggs, but not the egg whites. They had just like the big one.
Nancy's not that close. She doesn't want to be the fourth to drink out of the cup.
I
Chris.
honestly don't think it's terrible, and I'm not a big fan of gin.
It's not terrible.
Okay, so I think at this time, and this is like a horse show. At this time, what we need to do is cleanse our palate. And I know that there's a bottle of champagne that Nancy
Yes.
brought. So if we can send Chris away to find that, and we're going to make Audrey said, don't let Dakota do this. Now Dakota's definitely going to do this because it's good for content. Sarah.
Okay.
Will you
Don't
aim
aim it at the
Will you
Mevo.
please open that?
I'm going to aim it right at the Mevo.
And this is thank you very much. We'll make sure that we'll have the Patreon members step forward here in a second and have a drink with us on the show if they're so interested. Since Nancy
you.
brought it and we'll have a toast. We will give you a mic and you can make a toast, Nancy. We'll do it that way. That'll be perfect. Hody Johns has made the chat. I'm reading here is Dakota. Dakota is struggling. If you are if you're listening to this on Network Indiana on radio, what the hell is it called?
Indiana
Talks. God, I'm distracted because Dakota is peeling the foil off one layer at a time. Now he's finally got it going. How many bottles of champagne have you opened in your life?
One.
At your wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, this is going to go well. He's
Didn't
close.
Even have
He's
champagne. I just
He's
had
turning.
It was just
It was like
sparkling wine.
It was
He's turning the
sparkling
release.
wine.
So this is the very first bottle of champagne you've ever
of
opened.
actual
This
champagne.
is technically
yes,
Prosecco,
correct.
which is not champagne because it's not from the same region, but it's the same idea.
champagne.
Champagne.
I'm like terrified.
What is Guffey doing? He's like playing barkeep.
Why are you dumping my water bath?
Those were her
I
cups
need
to
that.
wash.
That's to wash my mixing.
Just in case
Right.
he's prepared. The
Shaker.
if you're listening to this in your car, go find the video. It popped.
Nice catch.
It's worked. It's steaming, and now we're gonna pour some drinks in honor of episode 100 on the lovely.
Damn, I'm good.
The Rex. Somebody help that man. He finally got it done. I don't Rex. Honestly, I don't know why his wife didn't come try to help. I don't know.
Because she's never done it either.
Can we pass that to our guest?
Yes, absolutely. I think you want to just pat? Yes, okay, that makes
I don't
sense.
think anybody licked their cup between.
I don't know what Chris did with them before. He may have had a plan. Yeah, he's winking.
Christy,
winking
did
that
you
way.
want one?
Sure, thank you.
So this is the
Chris, did you
100th
want
episode
one?
of Boss Hog of Liberty. Jeremiah
We may
Morrill,
need another couple cups.
Dakota Davis, Audrey, Joe Peavy Davis,
Hey,
Sarah Elizabeth Potter Morrill, Chris Nathan Guffey.
Can I tell you real quick about something that happened at work today?
Oh,
Yes.
nobody. No, this is. Do you want to share work things?
Yeah. Okay. So I work in an industry where I call people and I ask them if they want a job. And I called this woman and asked her if she wanted a job for a company that used to be one of our clients, no longer one of our clients. And she called me today in reference to a job I called her about in May of 2018. I was like, I gave her a call back. She did not answer. She has like a Google Voice number, which was odd for me because it was like, oh, leave your name before it even rings. And then she has a second to like react to it or something. And then it actually rings and you can leave a voicemail. And I said, hey, I just wanted to give you a call back. That was referring to a job that was open in May of 2018. Just wanted to let you know that opportunity has passed. And I was
missed.
like, okay. She didn't check her voicemail.
There we go. Nancy,
It's
come on over here, and Christy, we'll have you stand back on the other side with Dakota and Audrey across the front of the camera. And since Nancy brought the
treats.
brought all the fun stuff, she's going to be in charge of toast. There you go.
Here is to the last 100 episodes and the next 100.
And to the next 100. There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you guys very much. That is a very good palate cleanser compared to
Yes.
the gin.
Yes. Agreed.
Much better.
Terrible, but still better.
You're not a
Terrible.
champagne person either?
No, yeah, I don't like it.
She likes sweet stuff.
This isn't sweet enough for you?
This is good.
I like that Jolly Rancher drink.
I enjoy
Sarah
this.
knew me well.
Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you, Nancy, very much.
Yes,
Thank you, Nancy.
So Nancy brought us some strawberries that 90% of them made it to the beginning of the show.
And she's leaving.
And Nancy's leaving. Thank you very much.
Have a good night, Nancy.
So we will. She's a Patreon member. We're very thankful that she watches. She confessed to me probably about a year and a half ago that she watched every single video we did on YouTube, back to back to back to back. She binged. She binged on the show. She ran out of Netflix and she binged the show about a year ago, and she's been very supportive ever since.
You lost the flag.
I took it off so we could do the toast.
Ah.
You
Need help,
should
dear?
you should play host for a second. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
We're good to go.
So Nancy binge watched all of it.
She binge watched every bit of it.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can run out of Netflix, but okay.
I've done it with
I think
a
she
podcast
just thought
before.
Dakota was hot, mainly, is what happened.
That's true.
Well,
Team
Look at him. He's a
Dakota.
model.
oh
You married a
my.
model.
A story, a real quick story. So we're in the celebratory mood. Chris Spangle, our dear leader on the We're Libertarians Network. Chris had a little consulting contract with a guy, a country music up and comer, and he literally took pictures of Dakota and told this guy, "You just need to dress and cut your hair exactly like him, and you'll be a country music star." And
Did.
and now this guy, he's booking shows and things, and
Is he a
Spangle
country
did
music
all
star?
of the photos and things, and he modeled them after Dakota. So there's
I
a country star
I didn't get a cut.
that's just
either.
using your likeness.
What did he tell? Like, he was like, wear flannels, blow dry your hair, lots of hairspray.
Grow a pompadour.
This is pre-Pompadour.
Yeah, it was pre-pump. It was comb over.
It's about a year and a half ago.
We can just say that Spangle's right about a lot of things.
Gerald Gabriel's watching, saying, "Where's the rum?" That is private reserve rum. I don't
Yes,
think
you
think
don't
that's making
share.
it here. That's at home.
That is at home.
All right. So where else are we at here? 7:54 local time. We've been
I
on there
wanted
about
to
a half
ask
an hour.
on the vaccinations real quick.
Oh, wait, we're still on that.
I just want to ask what we think, each of us, what we think about regulations surrounding vaccines.
Okay.
I'll go first because I'm volunteering. I think it should be voluntary. So if you want your child to be vaccinated, great. If you don't want your child to be vaccinated, you're free to make that choice, but you also have to live with the consequences of that. Unfortunately, in our society today, as it stands, if your child goes unvaccinated, there are some risks that are involved, just like any other type of a health problem where if you go with something that, you try an alternative treatment, it may not work. This is something
Essential
that's been
oils.
researched for a very long time. It's something that, in my opinion, is something that, helps us keep our children healthy. For instance, I never had to suffer from polio. I never suffered from mumps. I never suffered from any of those diseases, yet I had all of the vaccinations. So, just going to throw it out there. I know a lot of concerns, like one of my friends just had a baby. He was 2 months old yesterday. And the biggest concern for her, or one of the big concerns, and a conversation that she and her husband had to have, was a conversation about, okay, when people are around our child when he's very, very young and his immune system is compromised because he's a fresh new baby, do we want to have people that have been vaccinated for RSV, which is a respiratory virus that kids can pick up very easily and it can be deadly? Or do we want to not do that and just kind of see what happens? So I think it's something that comes up in parenting classes. It's something that comes up as you're starting to raise your children. Do I think that that's necessarily the right decision? I think every parent should be able to choose. So that's my opinion, my 2 cents.
I think if it's something that's only for the health of your child, then it's parents' choice. If it's society at large and all, are you going to hurt somebody else?
Well,
So
that's
if you've
something
got
you
your-
have to consider.
If you've got your kid that's not vaccinated and he's going to go get 30 other kids sick because he didn't have his vaccination, then that's a little bit more of an aggressive stance where you're putting everybody else at risk.
Yep.
You can't.
That's why my kids will be vaccinated.
Right.
But I think that you should be allowed to make that decision.
Yeah, but if you're going to be a health risk to everybody else, put them in a bubble, right? Don't get everybody else hurt.
If your kid's going to be homeschooled, Yell free.
Audrey?
I don't know, man. I want to get into it.
Well, you said you're going to vaccinate your kids.
Yeah, probably.
That's your intent?
Yes. Not even probably.
Yes, it's going to happen.
It will happen.
You're going to get human vaccines, equine vaccines,
don't
bovine, all of them,
understand.
everything.
At the same time.
I think you said earlier that you think this has been it's just come up in the past decade, but I think that's only because people weren't vaccinating their kids, and now
they share it. They tell
we're
you
losing
that
the
they
herd
don't.
immunity, and people are getting sick.
You're getting these
I think it's
reports
been
of-
going on for a long time. I just think now it's catching up.
Well, it's like the whole peanut allergy thing. So I read, which book was it? One of the books for the
Jonathan
Wall
Haidt.
Book Club. No, it was. I can't remember if it was the. Well, I don't remember which book it was. There was either a Wall Book Club book or another one that I heard from
21
another
Tips for the
source.
21st Century?
It was either The Coddling of the American Mind or it was
the
the Ben
Coddling.
Sass book, which is
Them.
okay. Them. It was one of those two books. They talked about the peanut allergies. I think it was The Coddling of the American Mind.
That's
got to
by
be what it
Jonathan
was.
Haidt.
Okay,
Yes.
then yes. I didn't read the author. I just looked at the book.
Hey, we're back to the beginning.
So, anyways, this person, they did some research to figure out, and there was a study that they did for kids who were exposed to peanuts at a young age and those who were isolated from it. The ones who were exposed had a smaller chance of developing a peanut allergy. Less of them developed a peanut allergy as they got older. But
And
then the ones
these
who
are
weren't
children who had a
exposed,
predisposition
Yes.
towards peanut allergies.
yes, and the ones who were not exposed were more likely to develop a peanut allergy. So it's like if you introduce it to your immune system doesn't freak out as much as it would if you had gone so many years without it, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have peanuts, and I don't know what to do with this.
Dakota?
I agree with what you said, Jeremiah. I think that you can have the choice. It's your right to have the choice. But if you choose to not vaccinate your children, then you shouldn't be sending them to school with my children.
Yeah. Put them in that bubble.
Yep.
Guffey?
Bubble boy.
I'm actually right there with Dakota. Your choice, but don't send them with my kids. Because if my kid catches something, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Hypothetical children.
It's going to be like
For all of us.
But I'm single.
It's going to
and I
be
have
like
no-
half price day at Goodwill, and Guffey's going to go wild looking for that deal.
All right. Less heavy subject.
Yes.
Spiceland, Indiana, which is where Audrey and I hail from now.
Spiceland Township, at least.
Yes.
You don't live in the
We don't live in
regulated
town.
confines of the
No.
town yet.
Whatever.
We're not
Nothing.
under
We're a bunch
Darren
of country
Jacobs
folk out there.
How many chickens you got now?
None.
0.
When are you going to get
Sad.
your chickens?
We have a squirrel that lives in our shed.
Yep.
Can we
he
shoot him?
He
Did you
scares the
name him?
crap out of me every time I walk in there.
Squirrel season's done, but your private property. We can go kill him.
Yeah. He lives in my
What's his name?
My scrap metal bin.
We call him Scrappy.
Scrappy.
He lives
Scrappy
in
and
the scrap
Scruffy.
metal bin. All right, so we are getting a new hotel down there, John Montgomery.
We love John Montgomery.
Yes, maybe you've heard that name before because Montgomery Steakhouse has been so kind to the show in the past. He is bringing a Comfort Inn and Suites to the Interstate 70 and Highway 3 interchange in Spiceland. Yes. The plan is for the hotel to sit just west of Montgomery's on his existing property, and it is going to be a Comfort Inn and Suites. I already said that. Dang it.
You said it's going to be a Comfort Inn and Suites.
A Comfort Inn and Suites. Yes. At the
Which is part of the Ryerson
Interstate
Group.
70 and Highway 3 interchange in Spiceland. But the hotel is going to have an outdoor patio area with a fireplace, and the fireplace and outdoor area will be situated so that the patrons of the hotel will be able to view the outdoor concerts that are happening at Montgomery Steakhouse.
So
Be a very neat venue.
So we will have a music venue right there off the interstate here in the community. Great steakhouse. Yeah, it'll be a place where events could happen. We are heading to Fort Wayne, Indiana next month for the Libertarian State Convention. And Henry County has a tremendous libertarian group, but we haven't really had a facility that we could host a convention. Now we could have a hotel and a first-class steakhouse all right together where it could be a conference center. We could host that sort of event, Dakota, right here
And then-
once that's built.
Once the expo center's built too.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll have the trifecta: a expo center, a chain hotel, and a world-class steakhouse.
So, growing up, we had a few chain hotels here in town. The Garden Inn was a Holiday Inn Express. the Rain Tree was a Holiday Inn back 40 years ago.
Really?
But when I was growing up, it was the Best Western. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I remember that. I remember when it was a Best
Do you
Western.
remember it as Best
I
Western?
do, yeah.
All right. And then since then, it's been an independent motel. It's the hotel motel. You get a little of each. You know what the difference is between a hotel and a motel?
Crap.
A motorist lodging is a motel, right? It's specifically made for
Right. So
people
you
on the
drive
road.
your car up to the door at a motel.
Right.
You enter from the outside. A hotel, you walk through the hall, through the hallways
I knew It was
inside.
something to do with motor vehicles.
Yes, you drive up to
The
it.
newfangled horseless carriages.
So, and then of course we still do have the Steve Alford here in town, which is a very nice, clean hotel. But it's the drawback that we've had. And Steve, I think
There's a
I don't-
shoe. There's a shoe out
Steve
front.
Steve doesn't own that hotel, but he lends his name to it. That's what the media reports have said about it. And it's a very clean hotel, but corporate travelers want points. They want to know that there's a certain standard from a national brand that's there. I traditionally stay at a Hilton Honors Hampton type property. I collect Hampton points, and when I travel for work, I usually stay in a Hampton or Hilton or a Hilton Garden Inn, one of those types of deals.
You're smart.
And that's what the expectation is for a corporate traveler. So as we're growing the corporate base, it's a big deal to have a name brand hotel in the community.
It was a huge topic for a couple of years now that we needed a chain hotel, a nice hotel at that interchange, because Greenfield has done wonders with their interchange at Interstate 70 and Highway 109, and they have a few hotels there.
Holiday Inn Express, there's
they even
Hampton
got
Inn.
the Cracker Barrel. They got new lights on the
A
exit
gateway
right now.
project.
Yeah, it's sweet. The lights are awesome there.
They were purple today.
I'm
They've been
wondering
purple all
why.
week.
So why are they purple this week? Because usually it corresponds to like their sports team, which would be the blue and gold, or like for Christmas they had red and green throughout December. So I'm curious to know what the purple is.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
They had pink for a while.
That's what I thought it was for
they
like
had pink
Valentine's
for
Day
breast
because it's like
cancer.
pink and red for a hot second. Because I drive through there every day.
I don't know. I think they were feeling the purple. I don't think there's a
just
reason
feeling
to
it.
have purple. So they were like,
You know what color we haven't tried yet?
I haven't
Well, I
seen
didn't know if
purple
it was
since
like
I started
Relay
going to
for
work.
Life because like Relay for Life does purple.
They do, yeah.
Does
I don't know.
Black
I think-
History Month
I
have a
think-
color?
Purple.
It may be purple. That may be
It's
it.
February. I don't know. We're in the heart of
It
February.
was red and pink for like a couple days. So it's like, oh, Valentine's Day. Cool.
But they have done really good work down there in Greenfield. And basically over here in Henry County and Newcastle and Spiceland, we've just been super jealous because we can't compete.
All right, I was checking. I'm trying to figure out where we are in drinks. So this is
Jared's drink.
This is my drink. I smelled it and I could tell that this was going to be mine because it's creamy.
Smells like a Tootsie Roll.
You're so.
It does smell like a Tootsie Roll.
Oh no.
So this is
I already know.
Is this
I
an
already
Irish
know
car bomb?
what's in here.
no.
I saw the bottle over there, and I'm
Yes.
afraid to try.
That's why I give you the one with the least amount.
Is this the reason the half and half
I
is
know
here?
what this is.
This is what the half and half was for. And I said, don't put it
Don't
in your
look
coffee.
For the bottle, 'cause you
Brant
won't.
Spicer says it's purple and white for the Seymour Owls. I will be in Seymour tomorrow morning, Brant.
Are we
All
all
right.
trying it now?
Let's do it. This is my drink, and it's like a chocolate milk.
No.
That is delicious. What is this, Sarah?
Look, watch the tongue. Watch the tongue.
This is
Tongue's going because of the grenadine.
this is very spicy for Spiceland, but it's a chili Russian, and it is. I found so the whole purpose of me bringing drinks. I know you guys said something about you wanted to have these certain people over that had a YouTube channel at some point to come make drinks for your 100th episode. Unfortunately, that has been disbanded, from my understanding, because I subscribed and I haven't seen a video in like months. But I found this at the liquor store. Was on the clearance table. It is called a chili chocolate liqueur, aka you can use it in substitution of like Kahlua or something like that. So
It hurt my throat.
Oh,
It's a
gosh, it
spicy-
hurts so bad.
White Russian is what it is.
It is delicious. Dakota's running away. Is it too hot? What's the problem?
Pour it into Jared's cup. He'll drink it.
He's like, good Sharon.
Let Guffey have it. I was going to give him mine, but I really want to keep mine. I would have passed it around, but instead Dakota gets up from his chair. He walks all the way around. Sarah,
Hey,
try one of Nancy's
Does
berries.
anyone happen
I
to know
did.
when Montgomery's closes?
Hold on.
I don't
need to
know,
go
but
down?
Stax has a deal
John-
tonight until 9.
I don't
And
know.
it's like a twofer where you can get filet mignon and lobster. I tagged Jeremiah. He did not respond, so I am confused.
Lobster?
I'm very hungry.
John C. Montgomery
Lobster.
was in the chat
At-
that I knew of. John,
at,
can you tell us when Montgomery Steakhouse.
I would
closes.
really like
10
a
o'clock
buffalo
usually?
chicken sandwich.
Can you call ahead and order like
All right.
from
Yeah.
the Pizza King?
So that is the news for this episode. Now we're moving on
I gotta agree.
to the official 100th episode.
This is bomb,
I like it a lot.
Really?
Well, now Jer has a go-to that we have at our house.
dude. I love White Russians. Though.
John is in the chat and he says he's open till 10.
Oh yeah.
All right, John.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get me a chicken sandwich.
Man, you're getting lucky tonight at Montgomery's. You get a chicken
stinger.
sandwich,
A
Dakota.
stinger.
Yeah,
The stinger, the tri-stinger, right?
Spiceland
Is
stinger.
Spiceland
it?
stinger.
I'm pretty sure it's the
Spiceland stinger. Yep.
So that's another cool thing about Montgomery Steakhouse is they have all of these sandwiches and things on their menu are based after Henry County.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the Shady Stevens has a sandwich down there. The late, do you know who Shady was? He sang the song about the Dunreath County accident. I think we've talked
Really?
about this before. He sang the Dunreath County accident.
Oh my god.
Is it
When
anything
did
like
Walsall
the county
It's
auction?
the Dunreath Railroad accident.
Yes.
The Dunreath Railroad accident.
Yes.
It's not like
Which
the
is-
Grundy County auction?
No, it's much earlier than that. But it is it's a knockoff of another song that if you Google it, it was a huge song, and then Shady just went in and covered it as the Dunreath Railroad accident.
Okay.
Total ripoff, but it's ours. It's Henry County. So Shady
That's right.
was this. His brother was Don Stevens, and his daughter is Donna Jo Phipps.
Really?
Yes. So Shady is Donna's uncle.
Look at that.
So the more you know.
All right.
Welcome to
Sarah-
Henry County. Everybody's related.
Sarah, you have fixed us such wonderful cocktails. I have been drinking a Q3 from Taxman Brewing Company, which is a double dry hopped sour. And it has been delicious because it is an experimental brew that they have. And this has been the perfect Valentine's Day date, I think.
Oh wow. Good.
I don't think Audrey agrees.
It'll be complete when I get my chicken sandwich.
From Montgomery's?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you guys doing this Valentine's Day?
Yeah, Jer, what are we doing this Valentine's
Christy
Day?
is in the chat 3 feet away saying it's a parody, not a ripoff. But Christy's other super fandom is of Weird Al Yankovic. So I think she's met him about
He's
a dozen
a parody
times.
musician?
He knows who you are at this point, right? Yeah.
Yes.
She's shaking her head yes. She was there at the Walk of Fame when he was put in the Walk of Fame last year in Los Angeles and Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard. I interrupted
What do you
somebody.
guys? What are your Valentine's Day plans other than this? Do you have plans this weekend?
Yes, we are going to go with Sarah's parents to Butler University, and we're going to watch Butler and DePaul. First time I've ever watched a game in Hinkle Fieldhouse. So it's the last home game of the year for Hinkle. So doing a
Hinkle
double date
Dinkle?
with the parents. Hinkle.
Dinkle dinkle.
We get to go have our favorite wings.
And we're going to have some Hermanaki wings on Saturday afternoon. That's our plan. And then
I
I'm
love
trying. So Bowers, friend of the show, Chris Bowers, he's in town.
Yes, this is what I want.
He
What did you
DM'd
get
me.
to?
He DM'd me and said, "Hey, will you come to my show tonight on Valentine's Day in Indy?" I'm like, "Dude, it's our 100th episode. I can't." And he's like, "Oh well, funny story. I'm in Marion, and you already have dinner plans."
Yep, we do.
So Sarah and I have talked, and I said, "Okay, if we can get the Boss Hog crowd to go to Dayton next Saturday."
Not
So a
on
week from this
Valentine's Day
Saturday,
weekend.
Bowers is doing Wiley's in Dayton. 45 minutes, an hour from home. We could go there. It's just like going to Indy. And we could have the Boss Hog crowd and go hang out with Bowers on a Saturday night before he goes back home.
Dayton's 45 minutes from here.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
It's
Think
very
about-
close.
Think about going to IU East.
Oh yeah,
It's
True.
like 35 minutes.
true that.
Anyway, so yeah, we have a personal invitation from Bowers. I'm trying to eat the world's largest strawberry right now.
You're the world's
And it
largest
is-
strawberry.
Thank you, Audrey.
You're welcome.
By the
Happy
way-
Valentine's Day.
what do we call this chat? Normally we call this chat whatever the episode number is. What explain our numbering system for today's show?
What? Huh?
The 4 plus Guffey.
The 4 plus Guffey.
What's that
Yeah,
mean?
usually we set up a chat with all of our guests and it's BHOL and then the number of the episode. So Jeremiah appropriately titled it BHOL 100.
With
And
the fancy 100.
yeah,
The
And,
emoji 100.
we have the four of us have a group chat set up that Jeremiah set up like 2 years ago, and it's called the 4. But since Chris was in this chat, I just put the 4 plus Guffey.
It was epic. I felt so loved.
The 4 chat used to be a lot of fun. And then like 18 months ago, Audrey muted it. now it's.
I did not.
Well, you haven't responded in a year and a half.
I didn't mute it.
She's a lurker, Jer.
So-
That's what she
I
does.
muted it.
Yeah, I don't have to mute it, but there's not that much. There's not much in it.
There's not a lot of activity.
Occasionally,
we talk in
it'll
person.
blow up for like 10 minutes, and then it just.
And then it goes quiet again.
It's usually whenever Joetta does something.
Auntie Joe.
It's the place where you can. Unfortunately, it's very
safe
private, but it's the only place Audrey talks about vaccinations. I thought
I
putting
can't
it on
talk
the show
about
today.
it here. It's not the time. It's not the place. It is though, but I just can't.
Very personal.
How can we
decision.
help you feel more comfortable on the radio, Audrey? We're 100 episodes in. Dakota and I.
'Cause I
Look
haven't
at all
done-
these empty drinks that you've drank.
I haven't done this in a while.
Dakota,
Just you. There's so many. There's 8.
Dakota and I are getting
There's
to be
still one
professionals
more.
here.
I
We
do
can- we
feel
can
a
help you
little
through
tipsy
this.
from all the drinks.
There's still one more.
There's one more to come.
Oh my God.
There's a Sarah drink.
Maybe after another drink.
All right.
What's happened to tinfoil time? The Patreon people, they used to get this special bonus episode. What do we have to do to get you back into the tinfoil time mode? Because you had shows written that you haven't even put out yet. These scandals won't tell
In order
themselves.
for us to have another tinfoil time, I need to get a new job.
Or have that baby.
Incorrect.
You've been drinking all this, and you're having a baby.
Okay. No.
Funny
That's
story.
worse for them than the
Now
vaccines.
this is awkward for everyone.
All right. Let's
Hey,
talk about the show.
Wait, if you drink while you're pregnant, does that mean they won't be like an alcoholic
Opposite, I think.
or like less liver damage? Immune
Hey,
to liver
Dakota.
damage.
I think your wife's hammered.
No, you guys wanted me to talk about
mine
it.
brings it.
Oh, you're talking about vaccines. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. You're saying that
talking
if
about
you drink, then
immunity.
they'll have a natural
Yes,
immunity towards liver
exactly.
damage.
Exactly.
I got you.
I don't think that's how it works.
No.
Man, I wasn't following that.
Yeah, everyone
She
was
really
like,
had to connect the
why?
dots because I was confused as hell too. I'm with you now.
No one
Jeremiah,
understands.
did you already taste it?
No, I
Oh,
got it right here. I'm
What
stealing Dakota's drink that's
I
over
was
here.
worried.
No,
Whose drink is this?
I'm not
This is
jumping the
mine.
gun.
This is something that I'm on an Aldi group.
Brant Spicer is in the chat, and he's having his Valentine's dinner at Fresh Time eating sushi.
Well, isn't that fancy? Happy Valentine's Day, Brantley.
If you're a
and
Patreon
Mrs.
guy, you go
Brantley.
straight to the front of the line.
Also,
This is
before I was rudely interrupted, I'm part of an Aldi group. People have been raving about this for weeks. I was curious to know. I don't know if it's good. I opened it when we got here, let it breathe a little bit. It is a wine that is supposedly a red wine that should taste like chocolate as well.
He gave me a headache
So-
smelling it.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
That made me
not-
physically shake.
Okay.
It's like someone mixed
It's a little
Yoo-hoo
rough in the back.
with a
That's what she
Little
said.
red
rough
wine.
in the back. Oh,
Have you guys ever had Yoo-hoo? You
Yes.
had
that
that
tastes
beverage?
nothing like a you.
To me, it tastes like they mixed Yoo-hoo with a bad red wine.
Did
I agree.
Did Guffey get a cup poured for himself?
No, I don't like chocolate or wine.
Let him pass that over.
No.
Yeah, but what if you have the two together? Maybe you'll love it.
I doubt it.
Not when he's been drinking cherry mojitos.
I feel like we're one step away from just starting to drink out of the Nancy bottle.
Chug, chug, chug.
I'm not drinking out of the Nancy bottle.
You didn't like it?
I do like it.
Here,
I like it a
I'll
lot.
take some more champagne.
You'll take some more champagne?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if anybody can get there from here. I will pass the
Look at you,
bar.
Mr. Long Arms.
Well, yeah. Dakota has pressed a button and the computer has gone away.
That's why he wasn't allowed to open up the champagne. Oh, okay. This is how we're doing tonight.
I did open up the champagne. What are you talking about? Let's talk about the show. I have down here.
Is this the end?
Yes.
Are we done?
Not yet.
No, I mean, like, is this the last episode?
Episode 100's here.
This
We're
is
reevaluating, and we think it's over.
it's our performance review.
Yep. I want to talk about the beginning of the show, where we started at, where we are now, and everything in between.
The
God
milestone.
bless you.
Bless you, my child.
It was that wine.
Little status update. I was walking out of a
You
local
drank the
grocery store
foam,
today.
didn't you?
You're talking about where we started and where we've been, where we're going. friend of the show.
Before we do this, can we start an order at Montgomery's?
No.
Do they have mobile ordering there yet?
Well, John's
I don't
watching,
think
so
so.
I suppose you could just tell him that you want that chicken sandwich, and you can hope.
I need to know how much longer this will be, though, before I can order.
There's no telling.
My question is when's Boss Hog going to get a sandwich there?
Yeah.
It would be like
question.
a
we have
pulled pork with
No.
something else.
No, they have pulled pork there already with a name.
I do. But I've bragged on the ribs
Maybe
during
like a-
every episode.
Let's
read,
put like
so
a-
Do they
I
have
think
a
it needs to
BLT?
be-
Like a small steak
I like
Hey!
BLTs.
with ribs.
Boss hog rib. It goes.
It does, as long as they're pork ribs, not beef ribs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, their ribs down there are fantastic, and I would.
John,
be
if you could just
truly-
reprint your menus in our honor, that would be
I would
Forget
be
all the other
truly honored.
upgrades. This one really needs to happen.
all right. So I was trying to give an update, saying I was walking out of a local grocery store, the only one in Newcastle that has gas pumps, and
Where you use your fuel points.
yes,
All I'm saying is John Montgomery said that's a good idea about a Boss Hog sandwich.
did he? Did he say it in the chat?
He said that's a
Hey,
great
hey.
idea.
There we go. You never know. Might happen. It'd probably only happen if Audrey goes down and gets her chicken sandwich tonight. So I'm walking out, and a friend of the show, Lee Markham, passes me, and he's saying, "You guys are doing so well. The show is great." And he was like, "I don't want this to sound bad, but it's so much better. It gets better every time. It's just better than it was before, and it wasn't bad before, but it's the greatest show." And I was like, "Well, we've made a lot of improvements, and the studio's great. And the biggest thing we've done in the last little while is we've added Guffey over here.
Hey.
Chris Guffey's
Yay.
making us after our embarrassment. We had a great time when Jim Lucas was on, but the audio and it did not go well doing a telephone interview, and we needed help to make that happen.
And Guffey's the man.
And Guffey stepped up the next week, and he's been here ever since. And that's been a big part of the technology improvements. But
So whenever
we're coming a long way.
Whenever it was episode 3 and I purchased my half of the side recorder and we were in your home office,
Yes.
would you have ever imagined that we would have had a full-time producer?
Yeah, he moved in here. I didn't really expect him to move into the studio. We joked about it, but no, it's crazy. I'm blown away. I don't know where this show's going in the future and how big it's going to get or how far it's going to go. I never thought it would lead me to doing semi-regular appearances at WIBC and being on the Rob Kendall show and the Abdul Hakim Shabazz show. We've appeared on a number of different podcasts. It's created opportunities for us to talk to people I've really looked up to for a long time, Steve Horowitz and Robin Miller, and I know some others are
Jim
coming.
Lucas.
Jim Lucas. We've had state representatives, state senators. We've had darn near anybody that came through our local county ballot has come through this set of studios we've had. It's been just an incredible ride, and I'm excited that the show carries itself. Like, that's the most proud thing I am of this, is that it pays its own way. There's a lot of hobbies that you can have that are like a money suck, and people have had podcasts that have lasted for years and years and years, and 5 people listen or care. Every episode we do goes over 1,000 downloads, plus what the video does and the YouTube and the different syndication methods we have. It's because the audience actually supports us and cares, and it's crazy.
Yep. That was the biggest thing for me is talking to Chris from We Are Libertarians, and he's told us multiple times now that the average podcast, including the really big shows like Joe Rogan, who's surpassing 100 million downloads on an episode, including those folks, the average download for an audio podcast is 250.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
You guys are above average podcasters.
And we're from small town Indiana, and we've been doing this for almost 2 years
Yeah,
now.
it's amazing. I was talking to a customer today at lunch, and he asked about the podcast. I'm like, a year and a half old. And I'm like, started in March of, oh, God, wait.
Almost
We're
2
2 years
years.
old.
Yeah.
We're 2 years old.
It's crazy.
Older than our puppies.
Yes.
So what's been your favorite episode?
Man. That's like picking your favorite child.
That's great. I know. I've been
my least favorites
racking my
have definitely
brain.
been the ones with Travis Wyke and with Darren. Those are my
I
least
agree.
favorites that we've
I
done.
agree. Hate those ones.
Those were bad, but otherwise everything
You just
has
have
been,
to do those.
has been great.
It's like
My heart dropped for a second because I thought you were going to say the ones with my wife are the worst.
No,
the ones
no,
with
no,
Travis and Darren. Like, it's never felt more like work.
It's just heavy lifting. No, I mean, honestly, Spangle's been great. When we've had Spangle on, he's been phenomenal. Rob Kendall is a natural. I really enjoyed our Christmas episodes that we've done. Those have been special and different. Those have been really fun. I was really proud of the Steve Horowitz episodes we've had. I was very proud of the Robin Miller episode we had, even though that was a hostage situation for Dakota. And he still doesn't know who Robin Miller is, who, by the way, was just elected to the Indiana Sports Writers Hall of Fame. Very, very cool.
I don't know who he is, but I know I've talked to him.
That was big for me, and I'm looking forward to some other big ones. We're not done. Episode 101 is coming your way next Thursday. We're going to have Joey Molinaro on from MS and Espresso. He's going to bring his fiance over, and that's going to be fun. I think Sarah will probably come by the studio and hang out with Riley, or at least they'll drop off Joey, and maybe they'll go to the bar. I don't know what's going to happen, but
I think it'd be fun if we could go hang out at Twin Lions for a while.
There you go. I don't know. Are they open on Thursdays?
Oh,
or are they
well,
just a Friday,
if it's not,
Saturday?
then we'll go to Primo.
Go to Primo and go see Tommy.
Go to the back porch.
Or the back porch.
What's the back porch?
It's a new bar in town.
Where's that?
Right downtown.
Like close to Primo / Twin Lions?
Here you go. Save Games.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so you just drive up that street from Save Games and it's right on the left-hand side.
It's true.
It's in the back.
Right on the left.
Or you could go to Montgomery Steakhouse and get the new
chicken sandwich.
I could go get a spice and stinger, or the new Boss Hog sandwich that's coming out next week,
or the Boss Hog ribs,
or Boss Hog dish of some kind.
I don't know. Where do you think this show's going, Sarah? What do you think? What's happening?
As long as it doesn't come back to our house, I'm good.
What types?
Been there, done that.
It's not fun.
Now, you were real excited when it was Dakota's house. Then it became Audrey's house, and it was,
nope.
We're not doing this much longer.
It wasn't
helped
that.
that you guys moved.
You were fine with it. You didn't care that much. You never complained about it.
I never
Not to
complained
you.
about it. I think I complained about it after every show.
Yeah.
I've got to say, if I would have had someone invading, because like the podcast was at our house before it was our house. It was just Jer's house. But then when it became our house, well, before then, we had already moved into your house and then over here. So I don't think I could have handled having people come over every Thursday.
The weirdest part about it being in your home.
Especially like being in school. Like Audrey was still doing schoolwork at that point.
The weirdest thing about it is that it was in the upstairs of my house. My house was in a decent neighborhood, but it's downtown Newcastle, and we started having bigger guests on, like Steve Horowitz and
state senators,
Mike Crider,
guys that are spending millions of dollars on a congressional race, and we're standing in your kitchen, right?
Yeah,
and that, by the way, everybody loved that house. Like it was like, where did you find this? It was
a good
amazing.
House.
And then it was just weird. And the dogs were there. Had to like. I'm really crazy about cleanliness, especially when people are coming over. So it was like every Thursday, Audrey and I were busting our butts cleaning after we got home.
We should have let you guys borrow the Roomba.
It's crazy
to get all the dog hair.
So thankful for a studio. I was prepared to build one.
Well, Mike and Scott and the Rose City Partners group has been an amazing host for us in here. And thank God we got some warm weather outside, so we're not seeing our breath in here today. It's nice and toasty.
What types of episodes have been your favorite?
It's like picking your own kids, man. I
mean, just the types. Like we have the episodes where it's just the hosts. We have the episodes where we have experts like
I like the comedy shows. I really enjoy the comedy and getting to know cutting edge people and using the platform to meet folks that we wouldn't normally meet. But at the same time, I've really enjoyed some of the policy we've had when we talked to Americans for Prosperity, and Justin came up from Southern Indiana.
Yep,
Justin Stevens. That was a great episode. I've enjoyed the media guys. Having Eldon Pitts on was great, and the Catherine Winters episode was very interesting. I don't normally look at myself like an arts guy, but this has been. We've had theater people on. We've had art actors. We've had.
You've had some
musicians.
cultural exposure.
We've displayed the culture of this community in a way that I don't think that we've had a long form opportunity to do.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I think my favorites are probably the people who are experts in stuff.
Yeah.
So like Donnie Lester, Steve Horowitz, and those types of people where whenever I'm writing the show notes and I'm looking stuff up about and questions to ask them, I'm like, wow, this is neat. And even with Donnie Lester, I'm like, she's from Purdue, right?
You don't think it's a big deal, right?
And then you talk to her more, and like talking about the seed commissioner for the state of Indiana. It's also complicated. I love learning things like that. And then I think my other favorites.
I pulled some of the Andrew Bowman, one of our Patreon members, and Andrew was like, by far, he was like, the Danya Lester episode was his absolute favorite. So if you're scrolling through and you're looking at the 100 episodes and you're like, I want to go listen to one, find that Danya episode. That's a really good episode.
One.
It was a good one. Then I think my second favorite are whenever it's just the hosts.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my least favorite?
Please.
I already added this as feedback on the Patreon feed, but my least favorite was the first candidate series because I felt so bad for you guys. You had to have the same conversation over and over and over again. And it wasn't because it wasn't any fault of your own, but the candidates that were running were all running for the same offices. They were running, and I like that you gave them equal amounts of time. I think that was great. Because I think any debate should give all the candidates equal amounts of time so they can talk about what they want to talk about. But unfortunately, all of them were focused on the exact same things.
We did have the opportunity, I think.
The second candidate series, though, was much better. I loved it.
Did you like the empty chairs?
Yeah.
I wanted to do more than empty chairs, but Jared wouldn't let me.
The reason we did that was because we have a survey. It's posted on our website as well as the Facebook page, and anybody can go fill it out. But we took the feedback directly from that, and everybody, we had so many people that said, I have a love-hate relationship with the candidate series.
Yes,
I like the information, but it's so boring. So it was like, what can we do to spice this up?
So we made it debates. We brought them in one race at a time.
I really like that setup so much better because I think you still get to know the candidates. You get to know how they react to each other. And I think that can make a big difference in how you choose to vote.
I think this program provided more information to our community than any other platform has.
Well, I went to several of the debates, and I agree.
And I think we helped shape a lot of the issues that when it came down to it in November and the things people were talking about, and you went to the other debates and the other forums, they were talking about the issues that we shaped on this program.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of that as well.
For sure.
And then another very big moment for me was when we hosted the 3 state Senate candidates for the Henry County Senate seat.
That was really cool.
That's what
they all came to Newcastle.
That I talked to, I say that's my proudest moment of the show.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the vice president's brother, our new congressman, hasn't returned anybody's phone calls. I'm trying to go see him next month. Hopefully his people will respond to my email. I got to check in again. I go to Purdue every year, and I always met with Luke Messer when he was there. And,
you mean you go to D.C. every year on behalf of Purdue?
That's what I said, yes. That's what I intended to say. Thank you. I'm so happy I'm married. She solves my problems for me, Audrey. Do you do this for Dakota?
Wow, it's Valentine's Day.
I am. No, it's not. That's not a joke. That's like a legitimate, I'm happy to have Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that I have him to fix my problems.
I'm so happy I'm married.
Which are mainly emotional problems,
so happy
but that's
I'm
okay.
single.
You're not single.
You have Christy.
Christy's here.
Chris and Christy. It's so cute.
Mike Broyles reminding us.
Chris and Christy, you're so cute.
Robert, Indiana.
Find something that rhymes with cute, real quick.
With Aaron
Chris and Christy, why don't you go smooch?
Dakota, if you keep talking, I will mute.
What's happened? What has happened here at the end of the show is exactly what I predicted. The train wreck. Dakota's not staying on message with the show. In the chat, Mike Broyles. Robert, Indiana episode with Aaron and Dick was fantastic. Chris Murphy.
You mean Corey Murphy?
He says, I'm sorry, yes, Chris Murphy. Chris Murphy used to work in our coding plant. I'm reading a tiny, a 6-point text from 10 miles away.
And he's an old man.
I'm getting old. I'm going to need bifocals. Corey Murphy, and then the race program with Zach and Mike was cool. Yeah, I forgot we did that one back in May.
Yeah.
That was another one that you suffered
fun.
through.
That one was a fun one.
Zach Burcham and
just
Mike McCown.
He's
Zach
your
was
neighbor.
Cool. I'd like to have Zach on again.
Maybe you should come to the Indy 500 this year.
Probably not.
And really see it.
Won't.
Are there any runs going on in Newcastle this spring that he could fill us in on? Because he could be our guy. He's a runner.
He could.
He just did.
We should get him a GoPro.
Ago.
We should get him a GoPro.
Maybe what we should do is we should have Chris Guffey run with him one time and just run alongside and do live updates.
I think you guys should be in a golf
along
cart.
the path.
If you've ever seen this body, it was not built to run. Lift heavy
Johns.
things. Lift heavy things, yes, but run, no.
Hody John says that us eating ghost peppers was his favorite.
That was not my favorite moment.
The day after was even worse because we were in the car. We had to stop.
Yeah.
I didn't have
times.
any issues the day after.
Oh my god.
That was the worst.
it was so
where
difficult.
were we going?
We were going to Nashville, Tennessee for
my
your cousin's wedding.
my cousin's wedding. And
Man,
what's
Sarah,
a
even I knew
4-hour
that.
trip? You normally stop one time for gas and to use the bathroom. We stopped at least 3 times. That
I
can
had
remember.
to do some significant work in Johnson County at a
Work,
at
he's
a,
calling
at a Shell station.
Work.
It was what we'll call a major transaction.
I say, why don't we go Carolina Reaper? I'll do it.
Only
I'll do
if
Carolina
only if
Reaper.
Guffey does it.
I'm the producer. I'll do anything.
Andrew Bowman, I would totally agree with Hody. I was mowing my lawn while listening and almost crying laughing. There was a lot of crying going on in the studio, too. Chase, I think Chase took it the worst, honestly. Well, and Dakota. Dakota quit. Dakota quit on me. For the last 15 minutes of the show, it was just Darren and I trying to...
I told you I reached a very meditative state, like
He was in
none
Nirvana.
I've ever felt before. It was just like I couldn't think about anything because my mind was trying to take
the heat
itself
away.
off the pain.
That was...
So I couldn't think about anything else.
For the next month after that, I probably made every friend I know watch the stupid YouTube video. Like,
Yeah.
There's probably more YouTube views on that, and it was just me forcing my friends and my family to watch and go,
this.
look at me being dumb.
And
They
it's
thought I was
hilarious
they would
because
thought I was a fool.
I eat it, I take the bite, and then the rest of the time I just sit there and I drink milk.
It's radio. You have to talk. It's not good radio if you just sit there and do
Sat there
nothing.
like a stone, like a rock.
All right. Well, this
So
has been...
when are we going to have our karaoke night?
Well, so I think Guffey's been practicing. I walked in on it.
Dakota keeps singing this episode. That's why I ask.
I sing
been
every
practicing.
episode, Sarah.
I have...
I need to listen more often. I usually have it like in the background. I'm doing housework, laundry,
We're just background noise.
driving to work.
Secret time. Some Burt Kreischer.
I love him so
I just
much.
turn it on at night and make us listen to it as we go to bed. We listen to Boss Hog. That's how we get so many downloads. I just I just say whole house play.
That is a bold-faced lie. We watch Fresh Off the Boat to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's what we've been watching lately.
Or the West Wing. We
Oh,
watch the West Wing a lot.
The West Wing. Little Alan Alda will be out like that. It's just
We
over.
watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
We
you
finished
love
it.
that
We
show.
binged the whole show in a month and a half.
Well, we just started season 6.
New
Only
episode tonight.
5 episodes. Yeah.
New episode tonight. So
I'm going
when
to
you
have to force Jared to watch The Bachelor so I can catch up.
Oh my god!
All right.
I'm not doing that.
Let's do final thoughts.
Okay. You
We're at
first.
the point in the show where it's time for final thoughts.
Quitter.
Well, we're there. It's that time.
We've gone through everything. Jared.
All right, Sarah. Final thoughts. You're first up. You're in the final thought.
Okay.
Chair number 1.
Final thought number 1. Best beverage of the night for me was what Nancy brought. So,
The Prosecco.
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you, Nancy Dietz.
Interesting.
So, other things. Also, Nancy brought these beautiful strawberries. They're delicious.
I'm very thankful that after knowing Nancy for 25 years,
She still likes you.
she calls me Jeremiah now and not Jonathan. That
Oh,
she
yeah,
did for
that's
the-
always a
That's
blessing.
the biggest thing the fame has gotten me is that Nancy knows my name. Also, she called me Jonathan. I swear to God, I announced horse shows there since I was a kid. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing? Hi, Nancy. I'm doing great. I get the show. Nancy knows I'm Jeremiah now, so it's amazing.
Also, other final thought. Jerry, you should stop interrupting me.
Hey, Sarah,
A.
you just get used to
B.
it after a while.
Jeremiah, don't you like being married?
Welcome to
He
the
loves
club.
it so much. Also, I'm very proud of both of you for sticking with this for 100 episodes.
We're not quitters.
I know. And more. I'm excited for the next 100
And more.
and more. Yes, you guys are going to have more episodes.
Sorry, Chris, what I
So,
said earlier.
my
not
final
true.
thought is that you guys, I'm excited to see where all this goes because I think you guys have been able to explore both of your interests. So, why did you have to do that now? He just stuffed a strawberry in his mouth. For
I'm
those of
trying
you
to be-
listening,
I'm trying to be sexy for you, dear.
that's not super sexy. Just gonna throw it out there. But no, I'm seriously proud of you guys because I think this is something that started off as like, hey, this will be a fun little hobby. We'll get together every couple of weeks, and it's one of those things where, sorry, Dad, for throwing you under the bus, but my dad is one of those people who finds a hobby, enjoys it for a couple of years, goes all in for that, and then all of a sudden it's like, meh, we'll move on. So I'm proud of you guys for sticking with it for 100 episodes. I can't wait to see which other ones you get to do and being able to explore your interests and the things that you like.
Can't wait till we get to 1,000.
I think
That's
you
right.
guys will enjoy it. So, here's to the right.
You're here. John Montgomery's in the chat. Karaoke every Friday night at 9 o'clock. Come show us what you got. Dakota and I did karaoke on what's your wedding day, Audrey? November.
18th.
So November 17th, 2017.
We did at
Dakota
Montgomery's.
and I at Montgomery's did Beer for My Horses.
Yep.
I don't know. Was I there?
My pappy told my pappy back
I know
in my
I heard you guys
days,
here.
son.
Wait, this was at Tanner's birthday when you got a
Man.
karaoke
Yes,
machine. You
yes.
guys, or
We have
one
we
of
do
you
have
guys
a
did
karaoke
it.
machine at home. Yeah, we did that together as well. That's basically
Whiskey
Dakota and I have
for
done that.
my man.
That's
Beer for
our
my horses.
that is our song we sing together.
It's a duet.
It is a duet.
What
I do
song did I sing by myself?
at your bachelor party? I signed you up to do Cake Song.
Yeah, I can't remember what the title was.
Was it
It's their
Cake
biggest
by
song.
the Ocean? Oh no, that's different
What?
brand.
It's
Not
it is
Cake.
their biggest
Different brand.
I don't
Different
know.
band.
I don't know. what it's
brand.
called.
Different brand.
It was off brand. It was the
It was pie.
it was the Costco cake.
Hey, that's what we had at our wedding. Don't slam it.
Crap, it was the rap song that they do.
Oh,
And I didn't know all the lyrics, I thought.
but then you did.
I did.
There we go.
Or you thought you did and you were just smashed.
Yeah, I was pretty drunk. And I didn't think that I knew him. And Jeremiah signed me up behind my back. I didn't know he signed me up.
That's what a good groomsman does.
Until
my
the
friend.
DJ was like, now to the stage, Dakota Davis. It's his bachelor party. And I was like, what?
What? I didn't sign up.
Was it short shirt, long jacket?
No.
It wasn't. It was the distance. It was going the distance. It was
yes.
the distance. Yeah, you did
He's
the
going the distance.
No.
Yeah. He did wonderful. He did wonderful. Yeah,
that.
Travis even knew "Cake the Distance." Yes, that was the song we
Travis in
Travis
Nashville?
Ham. No, but he
Was
knows
not.
their biggest song. I
Oh,
described
there
it,
we
and he
go.
knew.
So I thought
He's
short
going
skirt, long
the
jacket
distance.
was their biggest song because that's the only one I know.
It's because it's the theme song from Chuck.
Hey, didn't we walk back down the aisle to some cake
You did.
song?
Yes.
We
I don't
just
remember what it
listened to
was,
that
though.
leaving as a group. Guffey, myself, and you listened
Yes.
to that song
on the way back from the fuel
coming
game.
back from the fuel game.
Love you
a week and a half
madly.
ago. That's it.
That was what it was.
See, the song we
Aw.
walked down
I know
the
that
or
one,
walked
too.
back down the aisle to makes me cry every time now.
Blue Clear Sky by George
Yeah,
Strait.
so good.
I was minding my own
It's so
business.
sad.
I was perfectly happy, and then out
and
of
then all
nowhere,
of a sudden she just
she stole me away, and now I can't spend Valentine's Day alone anymore.
You're
Did
welcome.
you want to before?
You're welcome.
Just him and Riley.
So now we have Garth
The
and
old
me.
days. The old days. It was so quiet. Audrey, you have final thoughts?
No.
You got nothing? Christy, come on over to Guffey's mic and you give us some final
She can
thoughts. She
use
drove all the
mine.
way down, or you can jump into Sarah's spot. Either
I
or.
usually just say vaccinate your children, but
Have your pets spayed and neutered? No,
Yes,
vaccinate
please.
your kids.
Vaccinate your kids, your dogs, your Guffies, whatever he is.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's your boyfriend.
Come to the LPIN State Convention in Fort Wayne because I want to kick ass.
There you go. And Sam Goldstein said that the midget is back, so you can.
That is a lie. As far as I know, the midget is not back unless Sam brings her back, which he's Sam. He probably could do that.
There we go. Guffey, you got final thoughts for us?
I have breaking news on the city elections.
Oh, okay.
In District 1, I thought we were going to have a contested race in the primary between Mary Brewington and Glenn. I believe it's Ryan?
Yes, Ryan.
Ryan Jr., yeah. But Mary came out on Monday and dropped a bomb. As the incumbent, she's dropping out of the primary, and she no longer wishes to run because of family issues.
We no longer have anything in the primary.
No.
I don't know. Rushville canceled a city election. I don't know if Newcastle will cancel the primary.
I don't know. Well, I know...
If there are no contested races, I don't see any reason that they would actually host the
And
primary.
we only have one Republican running, and the rest are all Democrats.
Lynn Purdue's running for re-election, and all
That
the
is
others,
correct.
all the incumbents are running for re-election, except Brenda Greider, who's in the chat. She's running for clerk treasurer.
Yep, she's taking over for Christy York.
All right. Well, she's taking over
she's
the Democratic
trying.
nomination.
She's trying.
She's not been elected yet, and we don't know if there will be a Republican or Libertarian or an
That's true.
Independent
We
or
can
a
still
Green
put
or a
out people.
Socialist or anybody else on the ballot, right?
Yeah, go
No
socialism.
socialists, please.
Well, you don't live in the city. You don't have any control.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, get out of my
4
city,
houses
Sarah.
away.
All
Get out
right.
of my houses.
Thank you for that update,
Yeah, no problem.
Producer
man.
Chris.
Yep.
Fluffy Guffey, are we still going with that, or do you want a different title?
No, that's fine. I don't care.
Need some more strawberries? You want some strawberries?
I don't
We
really
need to
li-
keep
I don't-
you fluffy.
Don't
I
you
really don't
offer
like
him my
chocolate.
strawberries.
Do you want us to peel the chocolate off and let you just have a strawberry?
What do you like, dear?
That won't keep you from
Christy
cream.
with the what do you like, dear?
Whipped cream.
Oh, wow.
We have half and half, but I don't know if we can shake it hard enough to make it into whipped
I'm
cream.
not
for you.
uncomfortable.
We
Are
could
you
try.
uncomfortable?
That's
Alright.
heavy whipping cream.
Dakota,
I
you
know,
got
well, half and half is half heavy whipping cream and half milk.
Yep.
final
I've
thoughts?
never-
Dakota Davis.
Okay. My final thoughts for this episode are thank you, everyone, for sticking around and hopping on the bandwagon for 100 episodes of The Boss Hog of Liberty. It's a fun ride. It's a fun hobby. It pays for itself. I'm grateful every week.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle. I definitely didn't think we'd be in our own studio in Newcastle with professional equipment and a full-time producer whenever we started this 2 years ago. And
You make it sound
100
like we
episodes
pay him
ago.
insurance.
We do. Well, he's a full-time producer, so we have to give him health insurance. This is the law.
Actually, no. I decline yours because it sucks so bad. So I'm going with my employers.
We got a full new box of Band-Aids. I don't know what your problem is. Isn't
Hey,
that
if-
enough for you?
I bought the value pack when I went to Meijer.
I know.
You're still on our
120.
HSA, though, which is weird.
I even got Neosporin.
Do we have retirement? We got to get some retirement going over here.
Yeah, we have a 0.25% match.
On exactly what you make.
Wow.
Hell, we'll raise it to a 0.5% match.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Man, I'm going to retire never.
All right.
Not if Andrew Yang has his way, which are my real final thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Yang is a Democrat candidate for president of the United States. He will be primarying this coming year.
He's one of 20.
What's an Andrew
Yeah.
Yang?
He'll be
Where's he from?
One of 20.
California? For some
Don't
reason,
know.
I want to say he's from California.
Yeah, he's an entrepreneur.
44.
He entered the race last year, and he is the
New York, Schenectady.
New York.
Schenectady. That's awful.
But if I was a Democrat, then I would be seriously considering voting for him for the primary. He has a couple of issues that I don't disagree with, but I know that he's got a long shot against all of the political types that he's going up against. But he genuinely seems like a good dude.
Well, he's already polling at 1%.
And if you got
That's higher than I'm polling at.
If you want to know more about him, then
0.
you can check out his episode on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. So
Yang2020.com.
That's correct.
Well, he's starting from 0. I know nothing about him, but if he's on Joe Rogan, then that's if
something.
Joe's behind him and his people care, that's actually going to be a big deal.
like
I don't
120 million people are going to hear him.
I don't think people realize just how big that Joe Rogan is. He's pushing the universal basic
The
income.
Joe Rogan.
The Joe Rogan. Human-centered capitalism, whatever the hell that is. It's got a picture of a couple barbers and Medicaid for all.
Pretty neat policy.
Final thoughts for me. MVP, our favorite barber shop, has hired a new barber. So they got
Harold.
another guy in there. Harold. I saw the Instagram at MVP went crazy with new Harold cuts.
Yep.
So pretty excited
they
about
gave
that.
Harold control of the Instagram.
Oh, that's what happened. That's what happened.
Now, when I stopped by MVP,
So you watched
it
me get my
last
hair cut
Saturday?
on Saturday.
yeah, I was
sorry.
offered the job. Clay was saying, hey, if you go to barber school, you could work here.
You know,
But I think Harold does a much better job than I do. For
I had
sure.
a-
Harold's
I had
definitely
a-
more qualified.
Absolutely.
Clay said the same thing to me, and I had a split second thought where I thought
I
could
could
do
do
it.
online barber school, of course.
do it. I could be a barber and do a barber. I could be a barber. I could podcast, and I could fill my lifelong childhood dream of becoming an old timey blacksmith.
All
You do
three
it
things
all.
in one.
Yep. And then once Andrew Yang is elected president, and I
You'll
get
have universal basic income.
$1,000 a month, $2,000 for our household, then
You can live on $24,000 a year. You might have to abort
yeah.
the Buick.
well,
Excuse you.
Final thoughts. I want
the
to know.
blacksmithing will pay for that.
Final thoughts. I want to know how that Andy Moore Buick's working out for you, Audrey. Are you still
Great.
smitten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
like
miss
it
my
a lot.
jeans.
If anybody else wants a Buick or GMC, then they can go to Andy Moore Buick GMC in Fishers, Indiana. Ask for Jonathan Phillips. Tell him Dakota Davis sent you.
No, tell him Jeremiah Moore.
because then Dakota Davis gets $100. Jeremiah already got $100 from me. So
I know you guys,
Dakota needs a kickback now, too.
I know you guys keep telling me I need to move in here, but I'm thinking about possibly buying a house in the next few years. I think I should go to the Boss Hog Liberty guy.
Oh, John Kindred?
Kindred?
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
He's a realtor to the stars, man.
He has a house for sale right now that I am absolutely in love with. His great-grandfather built it in 1902, and I wish it had a pool, because then I'd be sold.
You can always build a pool.
She's trying to sell my house. I feel it. I
don't
coming.
know. It's like 3 times as much as our house, so I don't think it's in the cards right
We're
now.
not those people.
We're not there yet.
It's 70,000.
I just don't think the numbers work. I just don't think the numbers work. How many miles are on your Buick, Audrey?
A lot of.
A lot of
miles.
I've almost got 3,000 on the CMC GMC.
I think I have, on the way up here, it was like 1,250.
Yeah. That's nothing.
But still, I just got it.
63,000.
Meanwhile, I'm heading
We haven't
to
even made the
100.
first payment.
Oh, I made my first payment.
Yeah, I'm trying to make actually 4 car payments this month.
Giddy up.
What?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Giddy up.
Oh, on your one car.
All right. Boss Hog
Yeah.
super
Okay,
fans.
that makes sense.
I
Try
want
and pay
you
it
to
down.
I want you to join the Patreon group and tell us if you want to come with us to the Bowers episode, the Bowers event in Dayton, and maybe buy some tickets and do a meetup over there. That'd be fun.
Also-
I think maybe Audrey and Dakota would go. Guffey might go with
We're
us.
definitely going. It's
Sarah-
already on the
Sarah and
calendar.
Jer want to go.
I want to plan an Indianapolis Indians event with all the Patreon supporters.
We'll talk about it when the season comes.
It's coming up. March. Into March.
Like I said earlier, the
Beginning
ants
of
have
it.
already indicated our house. Spring is coming, people.
Exactly.
I was walking around without a coat today.
Pretty cheap, reasonably priced. I think it's like $13 for his ticket. We can get us all together.
It's time. Go see a sporting event. We're going to the Butler basketball game. You can
It'll be
spot
fun.
Boss Hog in the wild if you go down to Butler.
I'm going to hockey. If
There
you're
you
at
go.
the Fuel game
You'll see
at
Chris.
the end of the week,
Look-
at the end of the month,
Fluffy Guffey.
Look for Fluffy down in the end.
105, row
Section
B,
105?
section
That's
3
what
and
you're
4.
weighing nowadays, 105?
Ooh, shh. Dog, I ain't seen 105 since 3rd grade.
Don't drop an F-bomb. Chase isn't here, so we
Fuck.
got to...
Aw, man.
Chris.
Damn it.
We almost had it.
Why?
Damn it.
Because he said not to. I'm rebellious.
Jeremiah.
Jared, that's your fault.
Why?
This has been fun. Next week, Joey Molinaro, Espresso. I don't know if Ben Pelizzi is going to show up or not, but he's bringing his better half, Riley Christian.
I may
And that's-
kidnap her. She may be here. We'll figure it out.
That's all I need is Joey, and maybe we'll make Chase come. Who knows? Chase will go anytime we tell him to come. So, and I'll tell you what, by name, Rob Kendall today, WIBC. He's like, Chase is amazing, but that
Aw.
Guffey guy, you got to keep Guffey.
You got to keep him.
93.1 WIBC. Slide in my DMs.
Hit you up on the hip.
Slide in my DMs. I am for hire.
We will see you all next week.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at WeAreLibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to WeAreLibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeAreLibertarians.com.